Hello and welcome to another episode of the Counterculture Mama podcast. I am your host, Danielle Venables. This episode today is going to be for the moms who want to live counterculturally in business, in finances. So if you're somebody who wants financial freedom, if you're someone who wants that extra spending money to spend on your kids or to be able to take a vacation or whatever the case may be, listen up because this episode is for you. And I am going to be speaking a little bit more to the entrepreneurs in this episode. But that being said, I do believe that there's something for everybody. Again, if you're a mom who wants the time freedom to be with your kids, you're going to want to hear what is in this episode as well. So one conversation that I've been having with a lot of entrepreneurs specifically, and especially those of you who have been connected with me through my coaching business and through that industry, is that as you are undergoing transformation spiritually, emotionally, just as you're growing and shifting and expanding and your values are shifting, a lot of you have expressed to me that you're feeling constrained, that you're feeling maybe out of alignment and trying to figure out where what you've been doing for business actually fits into the bigger picture of where you're going, what you're creating. There are questions being asked of like, how do I recalibrate this to fit with my faith or to I feel like I haven't fully gone through the transformation yet. So where have I been? Where am I going? And those are the questions that I'm looking to answer today. Because honestly, this has been my own experience and my own journey as well. And there has been one specific godsend in my life that has allowed me to stay relatively rooted, relatively consistent with my business while I'm stripping away everything else. For the first time in 5 years, I feel like I'm not burning it all down to the ground and starting over. I feel like I have a foundation that I can really root into as I'm tearing down my coaching business, as I'm tearing down, my Oracle deck stuff. If you're new here, that's a whole other story that I'll have to go through in another episode. But as I've been tearing down all of these bits and pieces of what I thought my business was going to look like and the income that I projected would be coming in from those revenue streams, my one constant has been sovereign wealth. And I want you to hear this from a place of love, from a place of support. And rather than seeing this as like a distraction or as something that you're like, I'm not sure about this, or I think I know what this is about, so I'm just going to tune out here. I'm going to invite you to just like hear me out, because what I've realized is that sovereign wealth is for everyone. So if you're not sure what sovereign wealth is, if you're brand new here, I am partnered with a health and wellness company that actually spreads love in the world. They actually do good things. At least one out of the 4 owners are Christian. I'm not sure about the other ones, but it's nice to know that at least one of the founders is. And they all operate with such integrity that I couldn't help but partner with them. And at the time when I said yes, it was one of those, I'm not really sure about this. I don't know where it fits in my business. I don't know if I'm really going to do anything with it. But, if I can make a little commission here and there, or if I can save money on my own family's health and wellness products, which we use a lot of, then sure, why not? Was my mindset when I said yes to this back in April. So it was something that I was like semi-closed off to, even though I said yes. And then as I have gone through my own, I want to say awakening, but as I've been like coming back to Jesus, as I've been navigating, letting go of the Akashic records, letting go of the Oracle cards, letting go of all of the new age stuff that I was subscribed to, my business was so closely entangled in that, not only because, my business, I was using the Akashic records as well as coaching. And, I was already sort of taking issue even leading up to that about, people outsourcing their power to me and things like that. Like, it just didn't fully feel right and didn't fully feel aligned. But as I started to come back to Jesus, some of those things just had to go. And I knew deep down that they had to go. And I wasn't sure what was coming in to take their place. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I still don't know exactly what is coming in. I mean, I have some ideas, but I don't know exactly what is coming in to take the place of the things that I let go of in this season of my life. And historically, when I've done that, I've had to go back to zero. I have had to let go of everything completely, change my niche or change my messaging or change, whatever. And this time around, it wasn't as scary, even though it's the biggest transition that I've made, because I had Sovereign Wealth supporting me through it. And the other thing that made it really scary was not only the work that I was doing that I had to strip away, but also the fear that the people who had been in my world up to this point were also New Age. They were also people that I had met in spiritual circles. They were people I had met through other spiritual coaches and other coaching programs. And so not only was I letting go of some of the work that I was doing that I was relatively successful at, but I also felt like I was going to be abandoned by the people that I had been surrounding myself with. And so it's one thing to start over with new offers with the same audience, but when your community has completely shifted from one thing to another, and, my own faith has taken on its form that does not agree with or support the New Age ideology, it's been very uncomfortable in a lot of these relationships. And I've had these conversations with some of the people I'm closest with, while also knowing and acknowledging that there are people maybe in a little bit more of my outer circle that won't bring those things to me and won't bring it up in conversation or haven't found the words to yet, right? And so all of that to say, because I was building out Sovereign Wealth, because my messaging was already naturally shifting towards freedom-minded moms, towards true financial freedom, as opposed to needing to create an offer, needing to show up on coaching calls, needing to, plan your next launch or your next funnel or your next whatever. Because I was building something that was so sustainable and so rooted in freedom, which gets to the core of what I value as a human being, the transition didn't feel as scary, even though I was walking away from not only my business, but also my people. And that type of freedom was more impactful for me than I ever could have imagined. Because, just think about it. Walking away, it would be like moving to another country. And that's probably the best analogy I have, is like moving to another country where not only do you not speak the language, but you also don't know anybody and you left all of your friends and family behind. That's ultimately like what that felt like on a spiritual level for me as I've been navigating this transition. And so to feel rooted and grounded and to have something familiar, it's like relocating to a new country, but at least you have a job that pays the bills, right? So it's one less thing to have to worry about. It's one more thing that gives you some security and something that underneath of it is so not only good, like this company is truly doing good in the world, which is so refreshing compared to so many industries and so many companies. They're genuinely helping people. And so I can stay rooted in that as well. And it's objectively good, regardless of if you're New Age, regardless of if you're Christian, regardless of, anything else. But then you also have this, the way I position it, the way that I talk about it, the way that I share about it can shift without being like a radical shift, right? because I'm talking about freedom. I'm talking about financial freedom. I'm talking about time freedom. I'm talking about, reclaiming your sovereignty over your time while you still make money and while you still make an impact. And so it has allowed me to grow and shift and evolve without me having to tear that part of my business down at all. So I've been able to keep going with this. It's never been called into question about, is this still aligned? Is this not? Where, like I said, everything else in my business was very uncertain and did get torn down and is in this massive, tear down and rebuild type phase. This has been the one constant that has allowed me to fly down and celebrate my grandpa's 90th birthday. It has allowed me to give a gift to my son that means a lot to him on his birthday. It is allowing me to continue to grow and expand financially, even in seasons of uncertainty. And that's really, really important when you say that you value freedom, right? So I'm going to go into just a little bit about what sovereign wealth really is. Like I said, it's a partnership with a health and wellness company. It is something that I earn commissions on. There are 7, 8, I think now, ways that we get paid, with more opportunities coming. But essentially what it is it's a low cost membership. Think like a Netflix subscription, your Amazon Prime subscription, your Costco membership. And what that does is that gets you access to wholesale pricing on all kinds of health and wellness products, from super clean skincare to protein powders to, basic vitamins like multivitamins and magnesium. There's CBD products if you're in the US. Unfortunately, they don't ship those internationally, so I can't get them here in Canada. But, they have CBD. They have pet multivitamin now. They are coming out with cleaners. I know that, clean toothpaste is coming up, and it's all super clean, super transparent. They're not using proprietary blends in their stuff. So they're not saying, oh, you're getting this while just putting a sprinkle in it. They're really giving you therapeutic doses of these supplements, and they are all USDA certified, organic, clean, and they are cheaper than the non-organic, non-clean, very questionable ones that you would buy at Walmart or on Amazon or wherever you get your supplements. So like I said, they're doing a lot of good in the world. And then on top of that, if you are an affiliate with this company, they revenue share with you. So you get commissions for sharing the love with your friends, with your family, and that gets paid out on a recurring basis every single month. So it's doing a lot of good. It's taken single moms from being, desperate, working 6 jobs, maybe an exaggeration, like 2-3 jobs, to having the freedom to quit all the jobs and homeschool their kids because they can and they want to. It's allowed certain entrepreneurs to go from hustling in their coaching businesses to being able to buy multiple income properties and earn passively that way because of the money that they're earning through this company. It has allowed families to, retire from their day jobs. There's one leader in the company who just retired her husband a few months ago, and she was a coach before. She still is, but her primary income comes from this company now because she doesn't have to hustle for it every single month. She supports the team. She mentors people within the company, and that's it, right? And the money just comes in every single month by helping people get healthy and save money. So it's a really beautiful mission, and it's a really beautiful movement. And then we get to take that and take it out into the world and share it with people and help people actually fuel their bodies with what helps them, instead of, some of these toxic or insignificant amounts of the active ingredient or whatever goes on in the supplement industry, right? Like, we all know to a degree that it's corrupt. And on the topic of transparency, like, not only do they tell you exactly what is in each product, but they also have all of the third-party testing certificates, heavy metals, organic certifications. All of the stuff is available on their website. So you can actually look at it, and they test every single batch. And if a batch comes back and they're not happy with the levels of something, they don't sell it. Like, the integrity of the owners of this company is unparalleled to any other company I have ever seen. And so because of that, it's inspired me to look at my business through a different lens, not only of how do I serve myself, but how do I serve others? And, not just serving others for the sake of, building a brand that makes a difference, but like, really, how do I shift my focus from growing to 10K months, or earning a 6-figure income, or earning $1 million a year income, and shifting that, which is something that we're very conditioned to do in the coaching industry, especially, and shifting it to, if I seek to do good in the world, then money will find me, and it will come in, and it will support me, and I will be provided for. And when we rely on God's provision like that, because ultimately, like, when we're doing his work, when we are going out into the world, just seeking to do good, just seeking to help people, that is where he shows up and provides. And so, whether you're New Age, whether you're Christian, it is this whole different level of surrender that I have been experiencing with this company, because even when I haven't been able to show up, even when I haven't been able to build this for me, it's like by sharing it with other people, by doing it from a place of service, it's been growing on its own. And people have been coming to me on their own looking for this, as opposed to needing to go out or needing to do some crazy ritual to manifest, or whatever we're taught to do to succeed in the coaching industry, right? So that's a really important point to touch on and anchor into. And the other thing is, it has allowed me the space in my schedule to help so many more people, because I mentor every single person on my team. And I also support the bigger team, with my gifts and talents and expertise. And, I've done design for the team, and I've done all kinds of different things to help build things out, because it is a collaborative effort. And when one of us rises, like, we truly all rise together. And I have never seen anything else in any industry that truly allows us all to thrive like that. So all of that to say, if you are looking for something that will give you your freedom back, if you're looking for something that can be your safe space, that is continuously growing, that is always going up every single month, that you can work out when you have the capacity to work, and that still pays you when you don't have the capacity to work, this is something that I want to invite you to get in my DMs about. I will also put the link down below for you so you can check it out for yourself if you'd like. But it's truly something that has been magical. It has been game-changing. It has been freedom and life-giving. And I just feel like it's the way of the future. It's the way of how we're really meant to grow, and how we're meant to be supported, so that we have the capacity to do our most important ministry, which is for our kids, first and foremost. For you mamas out there, our first and most important ministry is in our home for our children, so that we can be present wives, as the Bible calls us to, be our husband's helpers first, while still, making a side income or a primary income, and then go out into the world and minister to the world in new and unique ways. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to click the link down below in the show notes so that you can check out Sovereign Wealth. I would love to have you join our team. And if you have any questions, find me on social media. I'm on Facebook at I am Danielle Venables is the username, or you can just search Danielle Venables, find my profile picture. Same thing, Instagram is I am Danielle Venables, or you can leave a comment down below, and I'm happy to respond to the comments as well, especially if you're on YouTube. So I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.